What's up, gamers? Today we're going to take a look at Tekken 5 for the PlayStation 2. Tekken 5 is considered by most to be one of the best games in the series for multiple reasons. One of them being that it includes all of the new things that were added in Tekken 4 while still staying true to its roots in the previous Tekken games. Some of the annoying things like the people in the background and the uneven terrains have been removed completely while still maintaining a newer cinematic feel with the characters' personalities. This game was met with mainly positive reviews and even had a reboot, which we will cover in my next review. So first, we're going to start this game off by taking a look at the graphics. The graphics in Tekken 5 are some of the best that I've ever seen in the series, period. In some cases, even better than some of the newer generation Tekken games. Now, I'm saying that loosely. Some of the stages that you have in the game have continuous backgrounds. However, unlike Tekken Tag, they still connect very well and you would really not notice. Stages like Moonlight Wilderness that are just so gorgeous, you can't help but be amazed. The character models have been redone in a way that's a little more realistic but less cartoony at the same time. The polygon count has gone up, the textures look really clean, and some of the bosses, well in this case one boss, Jinpachi, is one of the most intimidating things. Now another thing that's cool about the graphics, they've added a whole new lighting scheme. So some of these stages will have completely interesting and unique lighting stages, like one scene where you're in kind of another fight club, but this time the lighting makes it look 100 times better. The animations in the game have also been improved. Some characters have been given more realistic throws, such as King, whereas others, like a newcomer Raven, have some really neat ninja moves that move absolutely smoothly. Easily one of the best games graphically that I've seen coming out of this series. The sound in this game has also been given an overhaul. A lot of the effects have now been improved, the voice acting has changed and been improved to be a little better, and some of the characters now speak more of their native tongue. Now, something that is interesting, and it's more of a thing that bothers me, is characters like Hurong will be speaking Korean, whereas Jin will be speaking Japanese. That's a nice touch, but I mean, is everyone in the tournament bilingual? What's the deal with that? That doesn't make any sense, especially when in Tekken 4, Jin and Hurong were speaking English. But whatever, it's a video game, I understand. The music is incredible in this game. Some of the best that I've heard coming back from the Tekken series. And I know in Tekken Tag and Tekken 4 and Tekken 3, I was kind of complaining a little bit about the music. Well, this one makes up for all of it. It fits the series very well, and the intro even has a little singing portion, which is the first time that's ever been done in any Tekken game. The gameplay has also had a little bit of an overhaul, and I say that in a very positive way. The thing about the gameplay in this game is it's a little faster and it's a little smoother. Now that they've removed all of that uneven terrain, it no longer creates a problem, but at the same time some of the stages do have walls. This also allowed them to make the stages look a little brighter and a little nicer than they did in Tekken 4. So good thinking, both on a gameplay standpoint and a graphics standpoint. The gameplay has changed a little bit, whereas before you would get cinematics before some of the fights. Now you get these little cutscenes with the in-game graphics. They make it a little bit of a smoother transition, and you could even lose some of these to see some comic relief. A good example would be Yoshimitsu and Raven. If you lose that match, you'll get a hysterical cutscene. Now, with that being said, the game at its core is still very Tekken. You also get a new mode that replaces the original Tekken Force mode, which is called the Devil Within mode. I'm at odds with this because the Devil Within mode plays like a very, very bad beat 'em up. Tekken Force actually was the better of the two. I hate to say that, but it's true. If you want to play Tekken Force, then it would be more of just a way for you to learn a little bit more about the series. But if I were you, I'd stick to the arcade mode. Another new bit that this game has added is the arcade history, which is the only game in the Tekken series to do this, and I love this. What they do now is they've included the arcade versions of Tekken 1, Tekken 2, and Tekken 3 within the game. and these are arcade perfect ports. So now you can play Tekken 3 with having the 3D backgrounds and everything there, just like the arcade. Same with Tekken 2 and Tekken 1, where all of the FMV sequences, when you select the character, are there, the voices are all there. It's a very, very cool thing to actually be able to play this, and I have no idea why they didn't bring this back to other Tekken games. But I would assume with things like PlayStation Online, that would be why. Now, if it's one thing that I'll complain about the gameplay, it's the final boss, Jinpachi Mishima. Now, Tekken has had some overpowering bosses, especially in Tekken 2 and Tekken 1. I don't know why, but they went back to this tradition of having an incredibly cheap, frustrating final boss. Jinpachi is so unbelievably cheap that I had to be cheap and just duck and kick him the entire time. Now, that's not a huge complaint for me, but it can almost ruin the game when it has a final boss that's incredibly cheap. So, Namco, if you're watching this, and I doubt it, please stop that. That's really, really annoying. So, all in all, what do I think of Tekken 5? Well, it's one of the best games in the series, even to this day. The graphics and the sound are phenomenal. The gameplay has been improved. Everything's been tweaked. I would think the only thing that I really didn't like about the game is the Devil Within mode, which was stupid, and the final boss, Jinpachi. Regardless, this will not spoil the game for you, and even if you're not a big Tekken 5 fan, you can play Tekken 1, 2, and 3 in arcade perfect ports. What other game can you do that with? This game easily gets a 9.5 out of 10, one of the highest ratings I have ever given. Hey, did you like that review? If not, that's okay. If you did like it, please subscribe to my channel. It's True Game Nerd TV. Thanks so much for watching, and I apologize for the lighting. I'll fix that eventually. Stay golden.